Welcome back to World of Technology. In our previous video, we explored the Kubernetes control plane and understood that it acts like the brain of the cluster. But today we answer another very important question. If the control plane makes decision, who actually runs the application? Where do pods live? Who creates containers? Who makes your application available to users? The answer is worker nodes. This is where Kubernetes becomes real because this is the place where your applications actually execute. By the end of this video, you will understand not only what a worker node is, but also how applications travel from a Kubernetes request to a running pod. So let's begin. Let's start with the foundation. A worker node is the machine that actually runs your application inside Kubernetes. Remember, control plane does not run applications. It only manages and makes decisions. Worker nodes execute those decisions. Inside worker nodes, pods are created, containers start, and users access your applications. Think of a restaurant. The manager accepts order, but the kitchen prepares the food. Similarly, control plane manages. Worker nodes do the actual work. A Kubernetes cluster can contain one worker node or thousands of worker nodes. That flexibility is what allows Kubernetes to scale. Now let's open the worker node and see what exists inside. A worker node is not a single software. It is made up of multiple components working together. First, kubelet. Second, container runtime. Third, kubeproxy. And finally, pods. You can imagine these like departments inside a company. Each one has a specific responsibility. If even one major component stops working, the application lifecycle becomes incomplete. Understanding these internal pieces is what separates using Kubernetes from actually understanding Kubernetes. Now let's meet Kubelet. Kubelet is one of the most important services running inside every worker node. You can think of Kubelet as the local operation managers. Its job is to talk to control plane. When Kubernetes decides to create a pod, Kubelet receives the instruction. Then it ensures the pod actually gets created. But Kubelet doesn't stop there. It continuously monitors containers, checks health and reports status back. And an interesting thing many beginners don't realize, Kubelet itself doesn't run containers. It coordinates the process. It tells another component to run them. And that component is container runtime. Container runtime is the engine of the worker node. This is the component that actually runs containers. Its job is start when Kubelet sends instruction. Container runtime pulls container images, create containers, start execution, stops container when needed, and manages the complete container lifecycle. Popular runtime include like Docker and Containerd. Here is an important insight. Pod do not directly run applications. Containers inside pods run applications, and container runtime is what powers those containers. No runtime means no running application. This is one of the hidden layers that many people use every day without noticing. Now your application is running, but users still need access. This is where kubeproxy becomes important. Kubeproxy handles networking inside Kubernetes. It routes traffic, connects services, makes sure requests reach the correct pod. Imagine your application has 10 pods. Users should not manually choose which pod to access. Kubeproxy intelligently manages traffic distribution. This enables scalability and reliability. A powerful insight: without kubeproxy, applications may run successfully, but communication inside the cluster becomes difficult. Now let's connect everything together. Imagine you deploy an application. First, control plane receives your request. Second, scheduler chooses the best worker node. Third, kubelet receives the instruction. Fourth, container runtime pulls the image and starts containers. Fifth, pods become available. And finally, kube proxy routes traffic to users. So the complete journey becomes request to control plane, to worker node, to kubelet, to runtime, then pod, and then finally the traffic. And suddenly your application becomes available. This entire process usually happens automatically in seconds. And now you know something many Kubernetes beginners don't. Worker nodes are where Kubernetes truly comes alive. So today we explored the execution side of Kubernetes. We learned what Kubernetes, what worker nodes are, what exists inside them, how kubelet works, why container runtime is necessary, how kube proxy enables communication, and how your application finally reaches the users. If control plane is the brain, then the worker nodes are the muscles. Together, they create the complete Kubernetes system. From the next video onwards, we will be starting to see topics like pods, deployments, networking, scaling, that will connect everything that you have learned so far. If this video helped you understand Kubernetes better, subscribe to World of Technology and continue your Kubernetes and CKA journey with us. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.